How much time and energy do you spend trying to get people to do things differently? Have you ever considered that it may actually be you who needs to do something differently? There's a simple concept called the interaction cycle, which shows us that we can get different results from people by shifting our mindset and making a conscious effort to change our actions. When we enter into an interaction, we don't go in with a blank slate in our minds. We have a subconscious perception of how that interaction is going to go. That perception stems from our mindset. Mindset is defined as a fixed mental attitude or disposition that predetermines a person's responses to and interpretations of situations. Mindset is the sum of our mood, values, beliefs, opinions, and thoughts that we formed about the world and ourselves. It is the lens through which we observe our world. So our mindset leads to our perception of how we think the interaction will go, which leads us to our feelings about the interaction, which leads us to our actions, and what we get back are the reactions from the other person. This interaction experience will then feed into our mindset for our next interaction. If it was a bad experience, we will envision a more negative interaction the next time than if it was a good experience, which will then affect our perception, our feelings, and our action, and can become almost a self-fulfilling prophecy. So how do we break the cycle? Ultimately, we need to do something different to get a different reaction from the individual. A good place to start in breaking the interaction cycle is to check our mindset and look at what lens we are using to see reality. For example, we can ask ourselves, are assumptions I've made about the individual limiting or supportive? Is my thinking too binary? Am I seeing things as black or white when really they may be green? Is no my go-to when maybe it should be yes and? Do I value being right over being open-minded? Do I tend to be reactive when I could be more proactive? Our mindsets predetermine our interpretations and responses. Rather than dreading an interaction, we can change our mindset and consider how we can be supportive of the individual. This can inspire us to act a different way, which will ultimately get a different reaction from the other person and help us to disrupt the interaction cycle. Think about applying this in a coaching situation. Maybe you have an employee who is not meeting deadlines, and you keep telling them over and over how important deadlines are, but the deadlines are still not being met. What you could do is change your action, do something differently. Maybe you need to set up different milestones with the individual. Maybe you need to have that individual set the milestones or dates for themselves. Maybe you need to talk to them about what's difficult for them in meeting those deadlines, but do something differently to get a different reaction from that person. So what are the mindsets that are not helping you? Changing your mindset is not easy, but it is worth the effort. Thank you for listening to our lead talk on mindset and the interaction cycle. For more lead talks and other tips on leading well, please visit our website at www.bishophouse.com.